There he is. What's up, Mike?
What's up, John? How are you, buddy?
Mike, I'm kind of getting worn thin on the quarterback thing, man. I just think it's getting a little out there for my comfort, and that is just something that I feel in me that I think it'd be healthy for us to have closure.
When you opened up the show with that line of thinking, I had to chuckle because I'm like, well, gosh, thank God John isn't playing quarterback for the University of Notre Dame. Imagine
Dude.
being in those kids. Us as fans can't even tolerate it, and these kids are actually doing it, right? It's a fascinating dynamic.
And I tried to highlight the difference between the media and the fan base and the kids on this team that are trying to perfect their role, earn a spot, compete, get better as a unit or whatever, versus us on the outside with our collective anxiety and like just the back and forth and the media struggling with this too. Like everybody's struggling with this. The fans are, the media is. And I feel like it's reaching a boiling point, and it would be healthy for us to know what we're doing and then turn it all to Miami instead of sideways at each other. All on the same page, pointing in Miami's direction.
The media is to blame for the anxiety. It's inarguable.
You
go so hard in the paint one direction for so long, whereas if something shifted, people can't really come to grips with the fact that Kenny might have won the job.
Yeah, and there's just so much conflicting information, Mike, that comes out one day after the next, and it has people losing their minds.
Well, we are gonna get into depth, and I can't wait. Not gonna do it here, but we're gonna get into it in depth. We're doing a show tomorrow night. We're doing a show Monday night. So one of those nights, we're gonna take a deep dive and go way back, John, in terms of how do we get here. But I think this scrimmage, and this is me just stirring the pot a little bit, but this is what I feel. This scrimmage tomorrow is kind of being set up. Jack pushed out a video of us from last Monday talking about you sit both quarterbacks down. Maybe this isn't the end all be all, but it really matters, right? We're putting a lot of weight into that. Now, that was Monday, so things have changed, right? It's Saturday. To me, the starter's been named. And you're into Miami prep, right? So, let's let him play a football game before he's got to play a football game. Does that make sense? So everybody's looking at this like this is the last jousting match between the two quarterbacks. And I'm saying, if the decision's already been made, which it sounds like it has, let your starter go play a game.
I do not think that everybody agrees that decision's been made.
Don't care.
That's
never have, John. Never have.
Fair. That is a completely legitimately fair answer. I'm just saying, I don't even think you're going to find full agreement that going into tomorrow, that's the deal.
That's fine. Swimming upstream's hard. So, and it's really interesting that the new spin, the last 24 hours, Kenny's Angeli all of a sudden. He's, Captain Checkdown, right? Carr's the one taking risk, whatever. It's like maybe he's taking the risk because he's losing the job. But at the end of the day, John, trying to say this the last 3-4 weeks, protect the ball, move the ball. Both of these quarterbacks have been playing an elite defense for weeks on end going into camp, right? Both have thrown interceptions because of that, but who can move the ball? And guess what, John? Playing quarterback, you're allowed to run. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that qualifies. I know people struggle with this, but that qualifies as moving the ball.
Yeah, I've heard that rumor. Yeah, you can do that.
You can do it. It's crazy. It's crazy. So no matter how gifted of an arm CJ has, can he move the ball? And there's two ways to do it playing quarterback.
Yeah, it is. So do you think we will get an official announcement tomorrow or not? A lot of people are going to tune into that presser when camp closes, and a lot of people are going to tune in hoping for that announcement. Do you think you get it?
The way that it was framed to me, and again, this, John, I kind of can source stuff, but I don't necessarily want to, right? I don't, because even a lot of times, and people need to understand this too, sourcing is subjective. So you could have a source who's the equipment manager. You could have a source who works in the training room. You could have you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And unless they're in like personnel meetings, your sourcing is just their take on it, right? There's a lot of subjectivity to sourcing. Whereas like, where was I going with that, John? Oh yeah. So the way that sources kind of come to me, right? Because especially when it comes to Kenny, because I've been out on that ledge since like January 2024. So the news kind of leaks, and that's the way it was framed, is like, yes, it's going to be announced tomorrow. Not saying that that's the case, but that's just what I was told.
Yeah, it's you just have it's just making me nervous that Twitter's full of quarterback talk and not Miami talk. And it makes me think of WPP, one of our residents here, very unique Notre Dame guy, who wanted all the focus on Miami before blue and gold game even happened. He was like, we're already not focusing on Miami. And it's like, settle down. We got to get there and it'll build. Usually we're to the point where it's full flames for the first opposition. I'm not seeing it. It's all the quarterbacky stuff. And I just pray to God the team isn't anything like we're being, and they're working on their position groups, and this is out of sight, out of mind, and let the offense figure it out. Like, I just hope that, but it makes me uncomfortable. I don't see a lot of let's beat Miami. I see a lot of who's right about the quarterback, and it makes me feel icky. I don't like it.
Yeah, but that's only natural. I mean, there's one more box to check. There's one more box to check. Let's check the box, and then we lock in. And yeah, I can assure you the offensive line room doesn't really care. The wide receivers don't really care, right? The secondary doesn't really care. They're focused in on their room and trying to move up the ranks themselves. So yeah, I'm sure they have an opinion as well, but just because they have an opinion doesn't mean that they're not focused on beating the Miami, as a middle linebacker, right?
Yeah, I need to constantly remind myself I exist in a weird universe, and with all this stuff, and that's not how the team and the program is interacting with a dynamic.
And the other thing too is these kids are so busy right now, John. I mean, you're in camp, and it's not like it used to be. They had an off day the other day. It's like, wow, that would have been nice 20-something years ago. But they're busy, dude. They're not on Twitter. Right? They might be on TikTok or something in their free time, but they're not on Twitter. I can promise you that. So I don't think that internally they feel all this craziness that's going on externally.
Yep, I certainly hope so, because it's getting to be a little unhealthy in my opinion. And here's the next test, Mike. Here's how I see this, and then I want to talk about some non-quarterback items quickly. You're going to name a guy. There's going to be a big reaction locally and nationally to whatever that news is, and everybody's going to process it on their videos, their articles, and on Twitter, and we're going to do all that. The camp that really wanted the guy who isn't going to win it is going to have an adjustment to figure out what happened and be okay with it. That will die down. We'll get to Miami, and everyone will be behind the starter. Go beat Miami. The real test is the first time things get tough for the new starter. That is the real test. Is everybody going to turn and go, you should have picked the other guy and that proves it, you're messing up the whole season? Or is there going to be patience with the process? That is the real test.
Based off of some fan surveys, Jack put one out there, you cited another one, and it's 70-30 in terms of like your casual / diehard Notre Dame fan. 70%, again, due to the media, think Carr is the man, right? So there's confirmation bias there. So if Carr throws a pick six, it's one thing, but if Kenny throws it, it's another one, because 70% of your fan base was wrong, right? So going back to like the film, which is what we do on Patreon, promo code ND25, $10. I had that idea to do that because going through the Sam Hartman experience, it's the O-line's fault, it's the wide receiver's fault. Like very rarely was the target ever put on Sam. Riley had a different treatment from the fans, right? Especially early on. So it's like, I'm just sitting there going, before you place blame on your quarterbacks, whatever position, offensive coordinator, you name it. Let's watch the film. So you're not getting somebody else's opinion of what happened, and you can decide for yourself. So, but that'll be fascinating to watch, is the reaction depending on who the quarterback is. John, I've taken up enough time. Like I said, I always feel like I'm stepping on your collars, and I am. I'm gonna sign off, but I have a little homework assignment.
Ooh.
For the group. So I hear short leash, right, John? Is the quarterback going to have a short leash / quick hook? Okay. And there's nuance there, of course, right? But I would love to figure out and talk about this at length, just you and I, and maybe get a kind of a consensus. What's the difference? What defines a short leash? And like, what's the difference between a quick hook and a short leash? Because short leash, does that mean the playbook's small, right? I want like a kind of a firm definition of both. And then what's the difference between the two, right?
That's Notre Dame nuance. We always talk about it. It's Notre Dame nuance. All right. Before you get out of here, I want to give you this, and you take it wherever you want. What is one non-quarterback Notre Dame camp narrative you think is very, very important, but is maybe getting overlooked or not getting the attention it would normally get because all the drama with the quarterback? Any other narrative that stands out to you that you value that isn't getting talked about enough?
Always try to get ahead of stuff when doing this with this young man, Nolan James. You know, with some of the injuries in the running back room, you hear great things. I think he's got tremendous star power. So he's going to find a role. That's a thing. I think offensive line play that's really, when the game kicks off, I might not even be looking at the ball. I'm watching a line play. I want to see that right guard spot, how they hold up. Pass rush is a huge question mark, right? I mean, you hear about how great Bryce Young looks. Where's Traore at? Is he fully recovered mentally, John? Forget physically. Like, where is he at mentally? And I think the other thing is too, and this is a feel-good story, but been talking about it for years, that we need stars. All of us became Notre Dame fans. A lot of us probably in the 80s, you know, the Ricky Waters and the Rockets, true stars. And boy, do you have an opportunity to make one out of Jeremiah Love, household name. Now the thing that he's returning kicks, it's like, yep, you know, give me some more of that. So I think we might have our first, you know, true star since Brady Quinn. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and we need it, I think, to continue the momentum of the program.
Yeah, and you were the one in the offseason, you were talking about, if you love that much and it's your last year with him and he's your all-star, give him every chance you can to be that stud and break out. And I imagine when I saw that news, I thought, Mike, you got to like it. It's another way to get your best guy the ball in his hands. There's injury concerns. What if he gets nailed on it? It's like, I don't know. He could tweak a knee on the next handoff too. So, I mean, it's another way to get your best guy the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with Love, it comes down to touches, right? It's like we think touches and you think, oh, he's going to be slogging the ball Derrick Henry style for, 38 carries. It ain't going to be that. You want Jeremiah Love in space, and that's a dink pass, slant route, kick return, a lot of space in kick return. So it's touches, get away from thinking just conventional downhill, like tailback play, right? And that's kind of the new age you see with like a Jahmyr Gibbs with the Lions. You saw it with Kamara. That's kind of the new agey running back, and that's what the NFL's looking for. So huge challenge, a fun challenge for Denbrock to dial that up.
For sure. Indy, Jack, it's good to see you here. $2 holler from our recruiting expert, Jack. Promo code ND25. Link, get yourself half off. Mike, here's what I'm looking forward to. If they can find a way to get Love a little more involved in the pass game in a creative way, I think there's big opportunities there because of how hard he is to bring down. And when he, every attribute he brings, I don't want you to overdo it, but if you could draw up some nifty stuff, get him one block, I think that's a whole nother dimension that could be opened here. I would like to see a little more of that with him.
Yeah. And last thought on last camp thought, it feels like this year, you've turned the page with the wide receiver room, genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, the media told you the last 2-3 years, like the wide receivers were great. I mean, that was the thing coming out of camp. I think it's actually true this year. More specific to that, I want to see wide receivers go get the damn ball, right? I mean, you've got a stud, you got a stallion in Malachi Fields. Like, I know he'll do it. Greathouse has done it. Faison's done it. You got, like, you know, some guys waiting in the wings that I think have the physical potential to do it. But on some of those deep shots, it's a 50-50 equation. It's the quarterback and it's the wide receiver. So I really want to see, you know, kind of challenge those wide receivers to come down with the damn ball, you know?
Yeah. Something else to look for as fans, you know, you were telling me in the offseason, I want to see Notre Dame receivers fighting, getting up and fighting and not getting under it and the ball lands in the breadbasket. Do you have those dudes that could go up and fight on a 3rd and 8 and grab that ball and win that battle up high with being an athlete and come down with it? That's a different skill set and mental set, kind of. I hope we're right, Mike, that wide receiver room's taking the next step, and either one of these quarterbacks can help them do that by getting them the ball more effectively, efficiently, whatever.
It's definitely a tick up. You've got Fields and you've got 3 slots, in my opinion, Pauling, Faison, and Greathouse, obviously. It'll be neat to see as the season progresses how much you see a KK Smith, different type of athlete, crazy top end speed, a Micah Gilbert. You know, Burris is getting a ton of love. So I think it's pivotal to, like, work in some of those different types of body types, you know?
Travis says, Mike, I've heard that every summer of my life. I got to see it to believe it now. Like, I think that's fair.
Trust me, Travis. I wouldn't lie to you. And I think this year you've got a quarterback, either way it goes, that'll actually deliver the ball.
Oh man, it's going to be exciting no matter what. But Mike, I am excited for this to get to where we know the quarterback, we could be done with that. And then we all come together and gear this thing for the next 2 weeks right into Miami. Like, I want to feel that. That's the next part of this, is the build up. Anything else you want to go over? Thanks a lot for always appreciate you dropping in on a Saturday night.
No, man. Like I said, I spent too much time. Get back to the calls, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow night.
We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to do something. We'll have something tomorrow night on Patreon for you guys. And then, you know, we do Monday Night Raw. So we got a lot of stuff coming. Mike, thanks a lot. Really appreciate you. Don't forget to check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. You can browse and carouse all the different Always Irish gear. Make sure you head over there and get something for the next tailgate. Thanks for being here.